By Rampage Jackson.
And that's it. That is all she wrote from Urquidez right there.
Danielle Taylor throwing some heavy shots and ends the fight. Cutler is out. Insane airplane toss by Charles Krazy.
Takedowns. Huge knees. Two huge knees.
And there she is, Ronda Rousey making her pro debut in excellent fashion. Jamie Colleen just destroying. Cutler says, no more, I'm out. And a quick look at our rules of combat based on 3 5-minute rounds, and of course 5 5-minute rounds for championship bouts. And of course in the amateur division that changed to 3 3-minute rounds, and of course 5 3-minute rounds for championship bouts in the amateur division. It's based on the 10-point must system, judging criteria, and to get things started, we'll go ahead and throw it to the cage.
Here is Taylor Killer Bee Jenkins.
Taylor Jenkins now making her way to the cage side. Jenkins hails from Clover, South Carolina, and stands at 5 feet 6 inches tall. She's currently fighting out of the strawweight class. Her pro MMA record standing at 0 wins and 1 loss. She's looking to change that tonight and pick up her first professional win. She came off of an amateur record of 1 and 3. Now Jenkins is a brawler-type fighter. She's definitely going to be bringing the heat to the table. She's got a lot of knockout capability. She's got great power in those punches. Jenkins currently trains at a Gym O in Gastonia, North Carolina. She studies many striking styles, including boxing. As I was saying before, she's going to be bringing the heat. She could prove to be a very overwhelming fighter against her opponent, Brianna Smith. Then again, Brianna Smith, also a brawler, also has a lot of power in those hands. You know, this could just be an all-out brawl. The referee checking on his final inspection. And Taylor Jenkins heads inside the cage.
Here is vicious Brianna Smith.
Now making her way to the cage side, Brianna Smith. Smith hails from Eclectic, Alabama. She stands at 5 feet 7 inches tall. Smith fighting out of the 115-pound weight class. Her current MMA record stands at 0 wins and 6 losses in her professional career. She's looking to pick up her first professional win as well. One of these women will definitely be taking home that win here tonight. I think it's really going to come down to who wants it more, who's got more training, who's got more cardio. Now Smith has a little bit more experience in the cage. She came off of an amateur MMA record of 8 wins and 11 losses. Smith is an independent fighter. She trains independently on her own. She considers herself a freestyle fighter. Like I was saying before, she's quick with her hands. She's got a lot of power behind those punches. Jenkins definitely going to have to look out for that, but I think they're both going to equally throw as many hits back and forth as they can. Jenkins is a very tough opponent. She can take quite a few punches in exchange as well. We'll see if Brianna Smith is as hardy. Now Smith has a pretty strong stand-up game. She doesn't have a whole lot of training in the ground game, so I do not think things will be getting down to that unless Jenkins decides to take things down. Brianna Smith heading inside the cage now.
Ladies and gentlemen, from James Brown Arena, Augusta, Georgia, King of the Cage and General Tire present this 3-round bout in the women's strawweight division. After the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Blake Grice. Introducing first, fighting out of our Lucas Oil blue corner, standing 5 feet 6 inches tall, official weight 114.8 pounds. She represents Jim O. Ladies and gentlemen, from Clover, South Carolina, presenting Taylor Killer B. Jenkins. Her opponent across the cage, fighting out of our General Tire red corner, stands at 5 feet 7 inches tall, official weight 117 pounds. She represents herself as an independent fighter. Ladies and gentlemen, from Eclectic, Alabama, presenting Vicious Brianna Smith. Once again, Blake Grice is your official for this bout now with the final instructions. 3 rounds, women's strawweights.
Ladies, you know the rules. I do expect a clean fight. Obey my commands, protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves, let's do it.
Here we are, our 4th bout of the evening. Our first women's bout here tonight, Taylor Jenkins versus Brianna Smith. They're fighting in the 115-pound division. This is a professional bout, 3 rounds, 5 minutes apiece. And Smith coming off with some heat. Taylor returning, but Smith continues it up, keeping a nice distance away. Definitely dealing some damage here.
That's one thing I love about when the women get in there. I mean, either it's on or it's off, and most of the time it's always on. They're just going in it and going for the gold.
And there it is, some big shots. We may see a knockout here. Both fighters just slugging it back and forth. Very exciting first round. She's backing off Taylor. And Taylor Jenkins returning, but taking a lot of damage in the process.
Yeah,
Ooh, and she takes a big knee. She did not like that.
That was good, too. I mean, you knock the wind out of something like that. I mean, that slows them down from everything. You cannot do nothing like you are here.
She's done, and it looks like she's done. No, she is not fighting back at all. The referee isn't stopping it yet. She's calling for it, though. She says no more. That's it.
She really got that. I mean, that was a beautiful kick to her stomach. Knocked the wind out of her.
Oh, you saw that. She backed off, and she took it just way a couple of notches down. Had to step back and breathe a second there, but that was beautiful. And look at, with all that blood coming out, she took a lot of damage that fight, but she turned it around really quick.
Hey, just like I say, one punch could change the fight. Hey, one kick could do it too.
Exactly. Let's take a look at the replay here. I mean, she, in the beginning, Brianna Smith just slugging it out as much as possible and landing a fair amount of those shots. They were all making contact. And Taylor Jenkins was having a really hard time trying to keep up with it. But like we said, all it took was one knee to the stomach, as we'll see coming up right over here. I mean, just slugging it out. And here's the knee. That was it. Backed off.
In the spot. I mean,
immediately held it up. And that was it for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee in charge, Blake Grice, has seen enough, steps in, calls a halt to this bout due to strikes. The official time, 1 minute and 5 seconds of the very first round. Your winner by TKO, the Killer Bee, Taylor Jennings. Augusta, are you ready for some women's MMA? Please welcome to the cage, Danielle Wynn.
And now approaching the cage, Danielle Wynn. Wynn hails from Atlanta, Georgia, and stands at 5 feet 4 inches tall. This is a flyweight bout. Wynn's current amateur MMA record stands at 2 wins and 2 losses. She's looking to pick up her 3rd win here tonight, and also the belt. That's right, by the end of this bout, one of these women will take home the King of the Cage Women's Amateur Junior Flyweight World Championship. A lot is on the line. I'm sure we're in for a very explosive bout. Danielle Wynn, a very strong stand-up fighter. She's got some ground game as well, but her biggest strengths lie in her fists. She trains out of SBG Athens in Athens, Georgia. She's also bringing a blue belt to the table in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So like I was saying before, very tough opponent. She's got a lot of endurance. She fights like a professional fighter. Definitely someone to watch for in the future. However, she is going up against the likes of Charlesy Maynor. As we've seen before, Charlesy Maynor holding an undefeated record, looking to keep that record clean against the likes of Danielle Wynn. Now, I think Wynn is definitely going to want to try and keep things in the stand-up, box around as much as she can. She may even knock out Charlesy Maynor if she lands a good strike in. She definitely has the power for it. The referee undergoing his final inspection. And Danielle Wynn heads inside the cage.
Here is Charlesy Maynor.
Now making her way to the cage side, Charlesy Maynor. She is the current King of the Cage Women's Amateur Junior Flyweight Champion. She hails from Lexington, South Carolina, and stands at 5 feet 4 inches tall. She's currently fighting out of the 125-pound weight class. Her amateur MMA record at an undefeated 4 wins and 0 losses. Charlesy Maynor has made herself a household name here at King of the Cage. The fans love her. She always puts on a fantastic fight. We'll see if she has what it takes to defeat the likes of Danielle Wynn, who's looking for that title. Maynor currently holds a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, equivalent to her opponent. She also trains out of Electric City MMA. She studies Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Combines that all together, and it's proved rather effective in her case. But I think this may be one of her toughest opponents yet. Definitely going to prove to be a challenge. Now finishing her final inspection here, and I'm sure we're in for an explosive bout as Charlesy Maynor heads inside the cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, from James Brown Arena, Augusta, Georgia, King of the Cage and General Tire present this 3-round bout for the King of the Cage Amateur Women's Junior Flyweight World Championship. After the bell rings, your referee in charge of this bout, Jimmy Neely. Introducing first, fighting out of our Lucas Oil blue corner, stamping 5 feet 4 inches tall. Official weight, 124.8 pounds. She represents SBG MMA. Record, 2 victories, 2 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, from the ATL Atlanta, Georgia, presenting the challenger, Danielle Wynn. Her opponent across the cage, fighting out of our General Tire red corner, stands at 5 feet 4 inches tall as well. Official weight, 125.2 pounds. She represents Electric City MMA. Record, 4 victories, no defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, from Lexington, South Carolina, presenting the reigning and defending King of the Cage Women's Amateur Junior Flyweight Champion, Charles Maynard. Once again, Jimmy Neely is your official for this bout. Now with the final instructions, 3 championship rounds scheduled.
Okay, ladies, we went over the rules in the back. I want a good, clean fight. Most importantly, I want your hands up, protect yourselves at all times. Touch them up, back to your corners.
Here we are. This is our main event of the evening. The King of the Cage Women's Amateur Junior Flyweight World Championship is on the line. Danielle Wynn versus Charles Maynard. And they're off. Both fighters coming off strong. Maynard immediately going into the clinch, pushing Wynn up against the cage. Both fighters looking to take each other down here, and Maynard putting that pressure back against the cage.
And I mean, like I said, none of them are giving a position to anyone. They're like, no, you got me against, no, I got you. You know, they're rotating, switching. I mean, that's great. You know, they're both, like I said, they're going for shots. I think it's more of who gets off balance or who gets that shot in that throws the other opponent off.
Definitely, because they are pretty tight up in this clinch, and Maynard takes things down to the ground, gets a nice toss there. But they're right back up to their feet.
Let's see if this breaks something out right here. Add a few shots, hey, changes the whole game plan.
Nice front kicks here. Both fighters seem pretty evenly matched thus far. Now they're slugging it out again. Some nice aggression coming from Wynn. She's keeping the right amount of pressure and then keeping that distance just out of harm's reach.
Yeah, she's doing a good job. She comes in, throws her shots, gets right out of range, so Maynard can't, connect.
Maynard closing in now, landing a couple of strikes.
The thing I say is Maynard's got to be careful because she's chasing Wynn around, but she's not throwing it when she's chasing her. Instead, she has to give her a partner and then she shoots, and that's when Wynn takes advantage. So she's got to make sure when Maynard's chasing her at the same time, she's got to throw stuff just to distract Wynn so she don't see the shots coming, the ones she wants to land.
Both these fighters almost throwing very identical shots at the same time. Their knees are popping off at the same time, their jabs at the same time. Very even matchup here. 30 seconds left, round number 1. More knees to the body getting exchanged. And again, another nice toss from Maynard, but they're right back up to their feet. It's going to take a little bit more than that to get Wynn on the ground. And Wynn making it very apparent that she wants to stay in the stand-up. I think she's doing very well from that point. If she can keep it there, she definitely has the advantage.
Yeah, I mean, this right now is reminding me of the earlier fight of the two guys, you know, between Creech and Deegan.
Yes.
Constant action, just going. And none of them slowing down for another. I mean, they come in here slugging it back and forth, and I mean, it's great.
Yeah, definitely. Maynard doing a good job here and landing some strikes, but Wynn, you know, overall doing I think just a tiny bit better in that in that first round if I have to give it to anybody. But I think Maynard is definitely going to learn from that first round and, you know, come back with a new adaptation. An action-packed first round, not giving up a single inch, as we were saying before. It was reminding us of a previous fight between Spencer Deegan and Trent Creech. And now we're going to get things started. Both fighters starting off with that fire once again. Maynard catching the leg there, but not quite quick enough, and now slamming up against the fence.
I like the way Wynn came out on this one. She came out aggressive until she got her leg caught right there, which ended up here. But I mean, she was coming in aggressive, moving around, striking. I mean, it was good. She needs to break away from this tie-up right here, go back to that attack. Maynard doing a great job right here of controlling Wynn against the cage. Opposed to the first round where, you know, they were both, you know, flopping around back and forth. You know, you didn't know who was getting it right here. Maynard, you know, having great control, keeping Wynn here.
Both firing off knees back and forth, very similar to round number one. Maynard once again trying to get those tosses. Wynn seems to be a little bit more prepared for them this time around. You know, both these fighters, you know, going 150%, pushing as hard as they can. A lot is on the line here. Wynn desperately wants that belt. She's going to try and get it by whatever means.
That's what we're talking about right there. You know, she tossed it once, tossed twice, did it a third time. Got a few shots in there. So keep going. You can't slow down after one or two tries. You just keep going, and hey, eventually you'll get what you need, and if not, you'll give some shots.
Now they'll break off and get some space between them. Get a chance to slug it back out. And Maynard coming in, landing a couple of nice strikes there. Wynn counter-striking.
Here's where Wynn, you know, to me, he's got the advantage. She's just got to move and strike. And I think she had a little bit of a longer reach, so she's able to, you know, attack Maynard without getting hit. But when she stands still, that's when Maynard comes in, ties her up, or, you know, lands some shots on her.
Wynn definitely looking like she's a little tired here. Maynard keeping that aggression going. And we've seen Maynard before here at King of the Cage. She's a very tough fighter. She can take a lot of hits and keep going, no problem.
Actually, I like that. Like I said, the first half of this round, Maynard pushing up against the cage, you know, wearing out now. Standing, trying to bang, and that's what you want. You know, hey, tire him out, throw some shots. Or the other way around, you know, throw some shots to weaken him, so you put him to the ground and, you know, get a submission in there.
Some nice front kicks back and forth, but once again, a very even round. Maynard going right in, trying to get that takedown once again these last few seconds, and gets it. She had a little bit more time. She'd definitely be working the ground here. And that's another fantastic round. Both fighters, I think I got to give Maynard a little bit of the advantage that round. Just kind of, she, you know, kept the energy going a little bit quicker. She was keeping that aggression going. She was taking advantage of, you know, throwing those shots first, making sure she was the first one to hit the target.
That drive was there all the way through, you know, all the way up to the end. You know, she wasn't stopping, you know, she stopped after the bell rang. You know, that's what you want to do. Right. That's what the judges want to see. I mean, that's how you impress the judge if it goes the distance. Hey, you know what? Well, this one kept going and going, you know, opposed to, hey, you know, this one slow down a little bit.
Yeah, Both fighters taking a lot of damage this round as well. Some nice slugging it out, some nice ground game. Once again, Maynard trying to get a lot of those takedowns with those tosses, but wasn't quite able to get them until right there at the end. We'll see if she can take advantage of that here in round number 3. And they're off, third and final round. Wynn is coming off with some heat.
I mean, those shots land whenever she throws them, because I mean, they're straight shots from Wynn.
And nice stomach shot right there.
She's got to keep them up. Right here, Wynn's got to push away. She's got to push her off and go back to those shots.
Exactly. Maynard's just clinching up right here. That I don't think she liked that gut shot right there. Definitely going to knock a little bit of the wind out of her.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you were saying, Wynn just has to keep it up and be persistent. Try to create some space and go back in for some jabs. Maynard pulling the leg here, getting that takedown. And Maynard, very good with her takedown. She's very crafty with them. She knows just about as many as she can. She's going to try and get you down in this, a million different ways in this fight.
I mean, that was a good takedown. She put a weight on Wim, and I mean, Wim had to work to get back up. All that stuff. Maynard had her weight on Wim, and I mean, that was a great takedown. She keeps that up a few more times. I mean, man.
Maynard trying to switch it up here, mixing those strikes and kicks.
I'll say, looking at him, I mean, I think Maynard's got a little more cardio than Wim. I mean, Wim's not gassed, but I mean, saying there's a little more explosive out of Maynard.
Right. A little more energy getting shown out. And Maynard is undefeated too, I believe. She's trying to keep that record maintained, and she's there for a reason. Definitely a professional prospect to be looking out for in the future. Maynard now once again trying to get the single leg. Wynn isn't going to go down so easy though. She pays for it.
And I mean, that's how you defend the takedown. It doesn't always have to just sprawl. Maynard doing a good job of catching a few jabs and a cross right there.
Maynard moving in. She's taking some damage here, but she's not giving up one bit. That energy level is staying up.
And I see that takedown came because she delivered a few good shots to Wim's face, just right before that. So Wim was like, man, I don't want to hit me. I don't want to hit. She's backing up, and then here comes the takedown.
In the last 15 seconds here, I think Maynard really looking to prove to the judges that she's the winner. This is definitely going to be going out without a finish. It doesn't look like anybody's going to be putting each other down anytime soon. Maynard trying to capitalize, landing a couple of last punches, and that's it. And we'll have to throw it to the judges for the final decision. What a great fight from both of these fighters. Once again, only one of these women can come out with the championship. We're going to have to see, how that develops. Let's take a look at the replay in the meantime. Once again, this round, I think that was more even, I think, than the last two. I can't really give a clear prediction as to who's going to take this home.
And that's why we're sitting here commentating instead of, over there with our scorecards trying to say who won. But yeah, this is what you want out of a championship fight. Every single round was nonstop action. They were going for it, every position, anything they were doing. Stand up.
And it looks like we have our decision. We'll throw it to Dean Stone.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of women's action here in the great state of Georgia, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge at cage side, Jeff Kemp, scores this bout 30-27, while judges Nate Mann and Brent McKeon both have it 29-28. All 3 in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. Still undefeated, still the king of the cage, women's amateur junior flyweight champion, Charles Maynard. Ladies and gentlemen, from James Brown Arena, Augusta, Georgia, King of the Cage and General Tire present this 3-round bout in the lightweight division. After the bell rings, your referee in charge of this contest, Nate Mann. Introducing first, fighting out of our Lucas Oil blue corner, standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, official weight 155.4 pounds. He represents Revolution Martial Arts. Ladies and gentlemen, from Greer, South Carolina, presenting Gabriel Crazy Eye Brown. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of our General Tire red corner, stands at 5 feet 7 inches tall. Official weight 159.8 pounds. He represents Benett Brothers Fighting Systems. Ladies and gentlemen, from Savannah, Georgia, presenting Robert the Shamrock Kid Colum. Once again, Nate Mann is your official for this bout now with the final instructions. 3 rounds, lightweights.
All right, guys, we're going to have a clean fight. Make sure you obey my commands. You want to touch gloves, do it now. Come out fighting.
All right, here we are. First bout of the evening. Gabriel Brown versus Robbie Collum. This is an amateur bout set 3 rounds, 3 minutes apiece in the 155-pound division. And they're off. And Gabriel coming off with some good kicks. Ooh, and they're slugging it out. Collum takes some damage there. He did not like that.
That was a good shot by Brown right there.
Brown taking a very good stance. Staying the right distance away, pop it in. He's got a lot of speed. He's got to watch out, though. Collum's got some real power in that
I was going to say, they still got some power there.
Although already seeing some blood from the right eye of Collum. Looks like they're going to take a timeout here for a second, maybe to examine that eye. Because that came off, I think, of that first kick right there. Just cut him open right off the bat. We'll take a look right here. And, you know, yeah, that definitely did it.
That grazed him, that's what it was.
Yeah. And he's already showing a lot of blood right off the bat. That's certainly, you know, frustrating, I would imagine. You know, we just started, you're feeling fresh, and now you already got, you know, your eyes swelling up, blood everywhere.
Doctor in there checking, see if you can go, and you're like, I feel fine,
right.
everything's good.
Exactly, you're like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
but no, got to be passed by, got to get some clearance going. And Gabriel Brown, he's ready to go. He's ready to keep this fight going, trying to keep that momentum up.
I mean, this kind of, sometimes as a fighter, it bothers me because then it changes the momentum sometimes.
It does, and that kind of definitely messes with the pacing of the fight.
But we'll see how it turns out here.
Got some fresh Vaseline, but I mean, it's only a matter of time before that thing splits right back open. Ooh, and they're going hard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying right there, you know. Collins said, you know what, I didn't like what you did. Brown did a nice job with those kicks. He Collins bad bay. Every time, you know, Brown raises that leg up, Collins just moves.
Brown keeping it very interesting. He's switching from southpaw to orthodox, back and forth. And now trying to control things from the ground here. And you can see those welts on the thigh of Collum from those kicks.
Yeah. Well, for an armbar right here, Brown is.
Brown keeping the energy levels way up. Proving to be a little overwhelming for Collum. Collum here getting a chance to get his breath back. But Brown trying to crank that arm back out. And Collum comes out and lands a nice strike.
Yeah, Brown relaxed a little too much right there and gave Collum an opportunity to just pop out and pop right back down and just deliver some damage.
Brown eating a couple of shots from Collum here. Colin getting some payback. Both the guys just beating each other up. And this is what we like to see, especially from an amateur bout. You know, we don't really see it usually this often, fights going down like this, but both these fighters are just keeping up that energy as much as possible. They're constantly throwing strikes, constantly trying to weaken their opponent.
Yeah, I mean, this is the way you do it. You get the pressure on, you strike, and just keep it going.
Just under 30 seconds left, and they're still going strong.
Yeah, neither guy's slowing down. You know, they're just the breaks you see is just a reposition.
Brown consistently throwing those strikes up. Collum throwing whenever he gets an opportunity. Last 10 seconds here. And that eye on Collum is looking pretty gnarly here. The bleeding doesn't seem to have continued, but you know that only takes one more strike, one more cut to open that thing back up. But he did a surprisingly very well job against the likes of Brown, was able to get some payback on him and dish out some equal damage.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying about that break. It gave him time to think of what happened to his eye, make him get a little upset over it and say, you know what, I'm going to give payback. And he did. He turned the tide after that break right there.
Definitely, you know, turn that round into a very even, close match. Can't really give the advantage to either one. We'll have to see how it develops in round number 2. And we'll see if they keep slugging it out, because I'm sure that's what we can expect, because that's really all they did that entire fight.
Yeah.
Round number 2, Gabriel Brown versus Robbie Collum. They had a very explosive first round. Both fighters dishing out a lot of damage back and forth, and we'll see how it continues. And Brown not wasting a second, already pushing in. There was a nice kick to the chest.
Well, see, because, I mean, last time Collins came out with that aggression, he capitalized. You know, he caught Brown, and that was it. That's what he needed to do.
And Collum taking advantage of that one single moment. Brown looking to adjust his hair. Now you gotta,
yeah.
You have to take advantage. It's a fight, you know.
That's right. You know, you want to take your time. You know, make yourself look pretty. Hey, take a fist.
Brown circling Collum. Collum remaining in center cage. Gabriel Brown just looking for that right combo to get set up.
Yeah, Collum's got to be a little more aggressive. I mean, when he's aggressive, he connects. He's coming in with pressure and power, and it throws Brown off. But when he's standing there like that, I mean, he's giving Brown all the opportunity to just pinpoint his shots.
And here they go in the clinch, and just barely missing a couple of very hard shots.
And Collins starting to feel a little fatigue right there.
Yeah, definitely keeping his guard down a little bit, catching his breath. Gabriel Brown definitely having a little bit better cardio here.
And those leg kicks again, you know, you can see how red Collins' legs are right there. You know, he's walking around now like nothing, but tomorrow
he's going to feel that. Oh, yeah.
He's going to be hurting. And it's funny because those kicks, I mean, he's taken quite a few. It only takes one to make you know, sore and limp.
Yeah.
And right now with those, I mean, he's taken quite a few.
Definitely. Gabriel Brown closing in, looking for a takedown now, changing elevation here a little bit.
There it is.
I don't think Collum was expecting that. I think he was, you know, expecting things to stay on that stand-up, but, you know, got to be ready for everything. This is MMA.
And that's what you do. You know, you don't show a takedown, you know, in the first round like that, or else, you know, you beat someone up for half that round. Then you take them down because they're not expecting it. This was perfectly timed right here. You know, Brown just, the first round, they just beat each other up. Second round, they beat each other up. And then, hey, let me take you down. Look at that. He was able to get that cut reopened right there.
Exactly. That's what I was just about to comment on. That blood's definitely going to start changing up the game for Collum a little bit here, but he's only got 20 seconds left, luckily.
Yeah, you know what? And for the judges, that blood is not good for you. You know, as Collum right here, you know, because now they're looking at, oh man, you know, he got him down and he made him bleed.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it just doesn't. It looks bad on your part.
And it looks like the referee's going to call a timeout here with less than 10 seconds left. But it definitely looks like he was grabbing onto the cage. I believe that's what he's going to lose a point for.
Trying to hold. He's not happy with that.
Yeah, he is not. We'll take a look here.
Yep.
And he, definitely grabbed it and was holding on, used it to get up. But he is not liking the referee's decision here. He doesn't want to hear any of it.
That's not good, you know. I mean, why are you being mad at the ref if the ref is just, you know, enforcing
doing his job?
Yeah,
exactly.
the rules. I mean, he's making sure it's a fair fight.
And you know, especially in, you know, if you just got your cut reopened, we were just talking about how, you know, favor of the judges. Acting like that is definitely not going to give you any extra points.
Not at all.
And I'm sure we'll get this up started momentarily. And here it goes once again. And that's it. A little short break right there at the end, but you know, Collins, when stuff happens like that, it's like, hey man, you got it on tape. You know, there's no denying that you didn't do it. You know, understandably so if you get upset if it's, you know, questionable call. But
Yeah. The worst part here for Colum is, I mean, if that was a 10-9 round, it's an 8-10 round now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
Yeah, definitely. That point really matters.
The first round, I'm going to give it to Brown just because he cut him open. You know, I mean, Colum came back strong, but I'm still seeing, he did damage to him.
Right.
So, but in this round here, I mean, he's going to have to put Brown away in order to secure a win.
Definitely.
I feel that way.
Yeah, no, I think that's a very fair assessment. And I'm sure he's definitely going to be looking to do that, you know. Probably a little angry with that decision right there and just ready to come in and bang. And we get round number 3 started here. And they're off. Gabriel Brown looking just as fresh as he was in the first round. And coming off with just the same heat.
Ooh.
Collum eats a big one.
Yeah, he does. And the leg, look at that. He felt that one.
Those kicks are really extending the reach of Gabriel Brown as well. He doesn't even have to get within swinging distance of Collum, and he's dealing significant damage.
Collum right now, he's feeling those kicks, the punches, everything. Because, I mean, you know, and Brown, you know, he's moving around, and he's doing it at will.
And now Collum doing exactly what he needs to do. He's walking down Brown. He needs to put that pressure up against Brown. You know, if the guy you're fighting is getting aggressive, and, you know, if it's not helping you just standing there taking the punches, you got to get aggressive back.
That's true. You know, you can't just keep walking him down and just taking hits like that. But I think Brown's movement there is going to call him off a little bit in the sense where he's like, man, he's kind of full of energy, you know, mentally. You know, Collins like, man, he's so much energy. I'm tired, you know.
Right.
I mean, it's great.
Yeah, and he's been jogging around the cage since round number 1. You know, he hasn't stopped bouncing, hasn't stopped moving. You know, his cardio is fantastic on Gabriel Brown. You know, and that's an essential skill that amateurs need to take with them into the professional division, especially with those elongated round times. And it seems like Gabriel Brown will be able to handle that no problem.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's to me, that's always what I always tell people. Hey, you want to do good at fights, make sure your cardio's up. Because the minute your opponent gets tired, hey, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly. Brown looking to capitalize here, land some more shots in. Collum definitely looking tired. He gets taken down to the ground fairly easily.
Yeah, I don't see Collum getting up from here. You know, as heavy as he was breathing, I mean, and as energetic as Brown is.
Yeah, exactly. Hands down, you know, mouth open, breathing. He was tired. He's only got less than 50 seconds left in this round. I think Brown is very well capable of keeping things down here. Yeah, I got to give props to the Collum, though, because Brown has definitely thrown enough punches to knock somebody out. And Collum is just taking them, and, you know, he's taking them like a champ.
Yeah, he's a tough guy.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to take that, definitely. And I mean, when he throws with heat, too.
Yeah.
So, it's just, hey, right now, honestly, fatigue, I think, is only the advantage here.
Yeah.
Or should I say cardio is the advantage.
Yeah, I'd say Gabriel Brown definitely has a little bit more of a refined technique as well. You know, is mixing things up with the kicks, switching his positions up, throwing different kinds of jabs. And now just finishing very strong, about as strong as he can. Possibly putting him away, doesn't quite. But, you know, just about. If he let him keep doing that for another 10 seconds, it would have been done.
Yeah. I mean, he was stuck, he was pinned down, and he was just taking shot after shot right there at the end. I mean, that's how you end a round.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's And yeah, he's tired. He's looking, pretty hurt. He's pretty banged up. He just took well over 9, 10, 11 punches right there consecutively. Yeah, we're going to have to toss it over to the judges for the final decision, but let's take a look at that replay in the meantime.
I mean, these guys, they're going back and forth. When Brown's moving around, he's doing great. But then when Collum decides to come in, he comes in aggressive and just sharp, which is good, but he didn't have the cardio to keep that up. And, he throw his shots and he'd be like, oh, gosh, for breath. And then Brown would come in and
that one split second, Brown would take advantage of that. He would read the situation and immediately, do what he needed to do to turn it into his favor. And right there, just shot after shot after shot. And, that's a tough spot to get hit on the head, too. That's not a soft spot.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge at cage side, Jimmy Neely, scores this bout 29-27, while judges Jeff Kemp and Brent McKeon both score it 30-26. All 3 in favor of your winner by unanimous decision, Gabriel Crazy Eye Rowe. Ladies and gentlemen, from James Brown Arena, Augusta, Georgia, King of the Cage and General Tire present this 3-round bout in the junior welterweight division. After the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Jimmy Neely. Introducing first, fighting out of our Lucas Oil blue corner, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, official weight 163.2 pounds. He represents National Karate and MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, from Summerville, South Carolina, presenting Deshawn, the Raging Demon, Middleton. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of our General Tire red corner, stands at 6 feet 2 inches tall. Official weight 159.8 pounds. He represents Fitness Edge MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, presenting Jordan Weeks. Once again, Jimmy Neely is your official for this bout now with the final instructions. 3 rounds, junior welterweights.
Okay, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the back. I want a good, clean fight. I want you to protect yourselves at all times. Touch them up after your corner's ready to fight.
Here we are, our second bout of the evening, Deshawn Middleton versus Jordan Weeks. We're going to get things started. This is a professional bout, 3 rounds, 5 minutes apiece, set in the 160-pound division, and Deshawn Middleton dishing out some damage here. Oh, and a big strike to Jordan Weeks. He definitely felt that and just taking shot after shot. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it out of this one.
Well, that's not how you do it right there. He's going for a takedown, but taking those shots like that, I mean, that's not healthy.
Yeah, honestly, talking from a medical perspective, I mean, geez. You may be able to take the shots, but, the human body's still a human body. And now taking Middleton down to the ground. We'll see if Jordan Weeks can fare better from this position here. Certainly more than taking shot after shot like that. That's a very dangerous situation to be in, and it looks like he's already got some blood, definitely.
Yeah, well, I mean, how many shots were that? 7, 8?
Yeah, more than that, I think.
I mean, they were pretty good, solid shots too. So, I mean, yeah, he made it through that one, but now, hey, if he don't do nothing here to put, Middleton away next round or even later this round, Middleton could do something to put Weekly away.
Yeah,
just
he
those
definitely
shots.
Doesn't want to gamble with this. Still lots of time in the round. Jordan Weeks, though, surprisingly doesn't look very phased from those punches. He still seems pretty okay. He's trying to lock in this head and arm choke right here. And I can't tell if it's deep or not. Oh, And it looks like there was almost a tap there, possibly.
I know. I thought he did. Weekly relax.
Right.
So I was like, maybe it was just a way to get Weekly to, relax off him a little bit, give him a break.
Deshawn Middleton not really putting up too much of an effort to get out of this. He's got to pull that arm a little more, get some more movement, create some space. Jordan Weeks is just locked in here. Now putting more pressure on it. Middleton definitely looking like much more of a stand-up fighter. He's not, no movement, almost no resistance. And that's the tap. That's it. That's it.
I think that first one might have been a tap, but it was,
just let go at the right time. But I think Weeks read that and just tightened up really. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Really quick. And a very unexpected outcome that I think us and the audience definitely did not see coming. I mean, look, we can count the shots right here. 1, knocks him. 2, 3, 4. 4, 5, 6, and a couple more after that.
Oh,
but
a lot more after that.
Things just got taken down to the ground, and Middleton didn't seem like he knew what to do. Honestly, no movement, no defense against this.
There was no defense, nothing. He was just sitting there waiting, like, when's it gonna happen?
And it got sunk in. That's all it took.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 2 minutes and 10 seconds of round number 1. Your winner by tap out submission from an arm triangle, Jordan Weeks. Here is Winson Ramos.
Winson Ramos now making his way to the cage side. Ramos is hailing from Brazil and stands at 5 feet 6 inches tall. He's currently fighting out of the 125-pound weight division. His pro MMA record stands at 3 wins and 1 loss. He's looking to pick up that 4th win here tonight against the likes of Anthony Cansano. Now Ramos is bringing an impressive black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to the table. He's definitely going to prove to be a very dangerous mechanism on the ground, and Cansano's going to have to defend against that. Ramos trains out of Checkmat, Charleston, and Charleston, South Carolina. When he's not training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, he's also training in wrestling and Muay Thai, and we'll see if it's enough to win.
Here is Anthony J. Cansano.
Anthony Cansano now making his way to the cage side. Cansano is hailing from Greenville, South Carolina, and stands at 5 feet 7 inches tall. He's also fighting out of the 125-pound weight class. His pro MMA record standing at 3 wins and 0 losses. He's looking to keep that undefeated record and pick up his 4th win here tonight, but he's got a very tough opponent ahead of him, Winson Ramos. Now Cansano came off of a very strong amateur career as well that ended in 8 wins and 2 losses. He is bringing a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to the table to combat against the black belt of Ramos. We'll see if it's enough to contend. Both of these fighters are very skilled in the ground game, very skilled in their jiu-jitsu. Cansano trains out of Revolution MMA. Considers himself a freestyle fighter. He does try to keep things mixed in the stand-up and the ground game, but his biggest strength lies in the ground game, which so coincides with his opponent's specialty as well. Anthony Cansano now makes his way into the cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, from James Brown Arena, Augusta, Georgia, King of the Cage and General Tire present this 3-round bout in the junior flyweight division. After the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Nate Mann. Introducing first, fighting out of our Lucas Oil blue corner, standing 5 feet 6 inches tall, official weight 127 pounds. He represents Checkmate Charleston. Ladies and gentlemen, from Manaus, Brazil, presenting Winston Ramos. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of our General Tire red corner, stands at 5 feet 7 inches tall. Official weight 126.4 pounds. He represents Revolution MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, from Greenville, South Carolina, presenting Anthony J. Cansano. Once again, Nate Mann is your official for this bout now with the final instructions. 3 rounds, junior flyweights.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to have a clean fight. Make sure you listen to obey my commands. We're going to touch the gloves, do it now. Come on, fight.
Here we are, round number 1, our next bout of the evening, Winston Ramos versus Anthony Cansano.
This is the last call for alcohol. Last call for alcohol.
And this bout is set in the 125-pound division. Professionals, 3 rounds, 5 minutes apiece. Once again, Ramos in the blue gloves, Cansano in the red. Both fighters testing out the waters here. And they look like they have pretty similar stats, pretty similar height, pretty similar reach.
Oh, look, I mean, these guys are quick out here, they're fast, so it just depends on who lands that shot first.
Definitely, we got, it's the 125-pound class. These guys are built to be light and fast. They can pop off a lot of shots in a very short amount of time. Ooh, and he almost eats a big knee there.
Yeah, I mean, whenever I've seen, guys at this weight fight, I mean, they got energy beyond energy.
And Winston going for the takedown. Now let's see if he can work from here, capitalize on the situation. They still have plenty of time, just under 4 minutes. And Winston continuing to keep the pressure up here.
I think Cansano's doing a great job, tying up Winston the way he is. And I mean, Winston, he's not really throwing no attacks. I don't know if he's trying to get in a position to do that, but it ain't happening. So I give credit to Cansano for that. I know they're doing a lot of hand fighting right there, just trying to get that hand free, and Cansano tying him up so he can't do nothing.
Ramos not giving up an inch, trying to just keep pushing forward as much as he can. Cansano doing a great job. He's curled up right now, but he's not taking any damage. Oh, and now the arm is extended. Twists out of that. Ramos continues to lock on, though. Ooh, and now taking the back. Very nice on Ramos's part, but it looks like Cansano's going to try and stretch out of this. Not quite.
He's got to be careful.
That arm is extended. Oh, this isn't looking good. He keeps going back for it every time he gets it free. Ramos is targeting that arm.
He's got to watch that position, Cansano's got to watch his position.
Now that was very interesting there. I mean, he was literally carrying the entire weight of Ramos right there in that squat. I mean, that had to have been some strain on that arm, but apparently not in the worst way, because he's still very much in this. Ramos is not giving up.
Ramos doing a good job on his scrambles. He gets out of the positions and he gets into a better position.
Ramos now laying down some ground and pound. Looking for the right way to enter here. pushing the legs aside. But Cansano turns with it. And now taking the back.
He's got his hooks in, but he is high. Look at that, man. I gotta say, Ron was doing a great job right here. You know, he was high, he rolled. I mean, look at it, he's going for rear naked right here. I mean, he's just working Cansano in every aspect of the ground game right now.
Ramos just pushing the pace, you know, not letting it up for a single second. And both these guys, you know, seem, you know, fairly well equal, very well in skill, but Ramos just seems to be one notch above him in the ground game. You know, he just seems to be one step ahead every time. Now taking him down, trying to get this rear naked choke here. He's got the body triangle. And that's it. That's all it takes. And Ramos, you know, I think he was looking for that the entire fight from the very beginning, you know, and just kept targeting, trying to get a submission. It ended up working out for him once he got the back.
Yeah, he was just persistent on everything he did. I mean, just nonstop. From here to there. I mean, Cansano doing a great job of defending, trying to scramble, trying to get out of positions. Because Ramos had a counter for everything, you know, Cansano did.
Exactly. Cansano, you know, he really did everything he really could. I just don't think there was much more he really could have done. Maybe he could have thrown some more strikes, did a little bit more damage to try to throw off Ramos, but Ramos was just determined. You know, 100% was persistent, kept going, did not lead up for a second. And right here, look at him. He's carrying almost that entire weight of Ramos on that strain of his arm. Still managed to get out of it, but not enough to get out of this rear naked choke.
Ramos was like a little leech to Cansano. I mean, he just stuck to him.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 3 minutes and 49 seconds of round number 1. Your winner by tap out submission from a rear naked choke, Winston Ramos.
Devontae Sewell is my opponent. I don't like him. I think he knows that. I think everybody knows that. Only reason that he's here is because I wanted to fight him. This is my show, so we've had a fight before. It was a split decision. On paper, he won, but he didn't win. He didn't come to fight, so I hope he does that this time.
My opponent's name is Deandre Anderson. We fought before in kickboxing. I know he likes to do a few things, but I'm not going to give that away right now. But I'm going to smash this guy first round.
I just did my regular training regimen. It's going in jiu-jitsu, boxing, kickboxing. It's nothing special. As long as I do what I do, then I'm going to win.
My camp went real great. I had a long 12-week camp. I didn't have to cut much weight, and I'm ready to knock this dude out.
I just want to dominate him for 15 minutes. I don't really care how it happens. If I knock him out, if I submit him, it doesn't really matter. It's more gratifying just win for 15 minutes.
Okay, so me and Deandre fought before in kickboxing. He liked to run his mouth a lot. This time he didn't run his mouth a lot because I beat him.
So Devontae said he was going to knock me out the last time. So I hope he comes and he tries to do it this time. Hope he doesn't run. He has that Jamaican flag, but he's not Usain Bolt.
Okay, this fight, I mean, like I said, it's a rematch. This time we're going MMA. Last time we fought in kickboxing, he talked a lot of crap. This time, he's not talking nothing after I beat him. Now I'm going to beat him again in MMA. If he want to fight in jiu-jitsu, wrestling, I'll beat him in that too.
Devontae, I might have missed once, but I won't miss twice.
Deandre Anderson, I hope you can swim. Last time you drowned in 3 minutes.
Here is Deandre, the protege, Anderson.
Now making his way to the cage side, Deandre Anderson. Anderson hails from Birmingham, Alabama, and stands at 5 feet 6 inches tall. He's currently fighting at the 145-pound weight class. His pro MMA record stands at 3 wins and 0 losses. He's looking to keep that undefeated record and pick up a 4th win against the likes of Devontae Sewell. Deandre stems from a very impressive record in the amateur division, ending at 7 wins and 1 loss. He's currently bringing a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to the table, but we all know his primary specialty is that is Muay Thai. kicks have massive power behind them. He's also got great strikes and elbows. His opponent is also a Muay Thai fighter. We'll have to see how they contend in the stand-up. If things get taken down to the ground, things may get interesting. Now, Anderson also has a strong wrestling background as well. That's definitely going to tie into his ground game. If things get taken down to the ground, it honestly could go either way. You know, if they seem fairly evenly matched in the Muay Thai, things may get switched around. If things go down to the ground, someone may get the extra advantage. We'll have to see how it plays out. Now Anderson and Sewell have a little bit of a history, as we saw in the pre-fight. You know, Anderson definitely has a drive to win this time. And it seems that in a Muay Thai bout before, he had lost in a decision. He's definitely looking to change that tonight, try to win with a knockout or submission. Deandre Anderson heads inside the cage. Now making his way to the cage side, Devontae Sewell. Sewell hails from Douglasville, Georgia, and stands at 5 feet 7 inches tall. His current pro MMA record stands at 7 wins and 4 losses. 6 of his victories were a result of submission. He's definitely going to prove to be dangerous on the ground, as well as in the stand-up. As I was saying before, he has a Muay Thai background as well. He's currently bringing a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to the table. Definitely going to prove to be a very tough opponent against the likes of Deandre Anderson. But the difference is that both of these fighters have already fought each other once before. This time it's MMA. Things are going to be a little bit different. But nonetheless, both fighters know, or at least have an idea of how each other fights. They have a feel for each other in the cage. I feel as though the feel-out process, may go a little quicker this round. Sewell trains out of Team Octopus in Villa Rica, Georgia. He characterizes himself as aggressive. He is a finisher. He's got fantastic cardio and great movement. Very well-rounded fighter, definitely going to prove to be dangerous in both the stand-up and the ground game. Anderson is going to have to look out for both of those. We'll see how he'll approach the situation. And Devontae Sewell heading inside the cage now.
King of the Cage on MAV TV will return after this. Tonight's presentation of King of the Cage is brought to you by Lucas Oil, made in America, sold to the world. And by General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Ladies and gentlemen, from James Brown Arena, Augusta, Georgia, King of the Cage and General Tire present our co-featured bout of the evening. Sanctioned by the Georgia Athletic and Entertainment Commission. Executive Director, Matt Woodruff. Chairman, Seth Milliken. Commissioners, Jeremy Orleans, Nick Reynolds, Rick Thompson, and Dr. Jeff Shaw. It's in conjunction with King of the Cage Incorporated, President and Founder, Terry Trevor Jr., Matchmaker Andy Wynn, promoters are Robbie Bell and Jeff Mulholland. The 3 judges scoring this bout will be Jeff Kemp, Nate Mann, and Brett McKeon. After the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Jimmy Neely. All right, Augusta, put your hands together for our feature of the evening. 3 rounds of MMA in the bantamweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of our Lucas Oil blue corner, standing 5 feet 6 inches tall. Official weight 144.4 pounds. This Cobra Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighter has a professional record of 3 victories with no defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, from Birmingham, Alabama, presenting the undefeated Deandre Anderson. Here's a moment across the cage, fighting out of our general tire red corner, stands at 5 feet 7 inches tall. Official weight, also 144.4 pounds. This Team Octopus fighter has a professional record of 7 victories with 4 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, from Douglasville, Georgia, presenting the Grinder, Deandre Jimmy Neely is your Mr. for this bout now with Ronnie Johnson's 3 rounds schedule.
Okay, gentlemen, I want a good clean fight. Protect yourselves at all times. Touch them up back to the corners.
Here we are, round number 1. This is our co-main event of the night, Deandre Anderson versus Devontae Sewell. Anderson in the blue gloves, Sewell in the red. And as we just saw from that pre-fight interview, these guys got a little bit of a history together. They have fought each other before, last time in a Muay Thai bout. But this time it's MMA. Of course, the rules are a little bit different. There's a lot more that you can do, and it's a much different battlefield.
Yeah, and the gloves is another thing too, you know.
Yeah.
It changes the aspect of things when you get hit with these gloves opposed to, you know, kickboxing glove or Muay Thai glove.
Right. Anderson catching the kick here, now going up to the clinch against the cage. Sewell doing whatever he can to defend from this right here. Anderson just holding on.
Yeah, I mean, that's not good for Anderson if he wants to keep the series. He's got to stay busy or the ref's going to say, hey, you know what? You ain't doing nothing, let's break it up.
Trying to go for the takedown attempt here. Sewell keeping that weight down. Both fighters just waiting for that one imbalance to slip up. And then someone's getting taken down to the ground at some point. But it's early on in the round. They just started. Both these guys are very fresh. They could be here for a while. The referee probably going to call for some action.
Yeah, it's a chess game right here for these guys right now. You know, it's because every move is what's going to dictate the next thing that happens, whether it's positive or negative for you.
Some nice knees from Devontae Sewell. Anderson now trying to get that trip, trying to throw him off balance. Sewell using that ring to his advantage. And now attacking the thighs. And finally gets things taken down to the ground. Sewell spinning around on top. And now Anderson ends up with his back against the cage.
That was a good spin for to end up in that position, but then, he let Anderson, just get control right back.
Both fighters just seem to be pretty equal in strength, turning each other back and forth. Anderson has to push the pace, though, a little bit more here if he wants to lead this.
Yeah, I look at this right now. Anderson should just break away in the 8. He should stand and bank for a little bit, throw him off, set something up, and then, go for that takedown. Or, if you get him up against here, he might be a little more tired. He might have landed a good shot where you could do some damage.
Exactly. I mean, as we were saying before, both these guys have a lot of Muay Thai experience. They could definitely be standing up and brawling. Anderson has a huge wrestling background. He's got some ground game to deal with. Oh, and gets that was a nice little takedown there.
Nice toss, but look what he's done. He's got himself in a bad position right here all the way.
Sewell now just relaxing, chilling back. All he's got to do is lean back, keep that head locked up.
I mean, if he locks his legs and stretches his legs out, I mean, he's got it. If his hands are he's got a good grip on his hands right there and across the throat.
And Deandre slips out.
Let's see if Anderson can do something, capitalize from this position here. Because, I mean, so far, when he had Sewell up against the cage, he wasn't doing much of damage-wise. He was just holding him there. He threw a few knees and stuff, but most of it was just holding him there.
Right.
Down here, hey, do some damage. You got a good opportunity to, besides, having control on the bottom, having him on bottom, is to do some damage.
One of these fighters has definitely got to push the pace a little bit harder because, right now can't really give a clear advantage to quite anybody yet. Deandre, getting to positions and taking things down to the ground, but also getting himself trapped up in the process. Pretty much a stalemate for the majority of this round. Both fighters are taking quite some time to get over each other. But then again, these guys have fought in each other before. They understand a little bit easier than just, say, a random opponent on how they're going to fight, what kind of style they're going to fight with.
And maybe that's why Anderson decided to push him over his cage and try to take him to the ground because the stand-up, hey, didn't work in his favor last time. Maybe he figured, hey, this first round, let me tire him out physically so that the next rounds, I can just stand with him and have my way.
That's very possible. Coming down to the last 10 seconds here. And they'll finish on their feet. Deandre Anderson landing a couple of strikes there after they got stood up. We'll take a look at the replay. Both these fighters, like I said, kind of just a stalemate this round. Both guys no clear advantage over the other. And say Deandre maybe getting a slight point for taking the initiative and trying to move things in the way he wants it to. Devontae Sewell being pretty passive this round, but maybe just taking his time, watching the water. Maybe he'll react a little differently in the upcoming round.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. I mean, if they fought before in Muay Thai, he can say, let me wear him out. And this is the way you wear someone out, just press him over his cage, try and, just wear him out physically.
We're here at the James Brown Arena in Augusta, Georgia. Round number 2 of our co-main event, Deandre Anderson versus Devontae Sewell. Coming off of a pretty even first round, we'll see if either of these fighters can pick up the pace a little bit here and dish out some damage. And it looks like they're going to already start off with a little bit more stand-up. And right back to that clinch and up against the cage again.
So, well, I mean, he's got to avoid that clinch at all. I mean, right now he started throwing and punches and kicks and it was doing really good. He's got to get that movement going so that Anderson doesn't have a chance to just grab him and try and, get him to the ground.
And now Sewell ending up in a pretty good position after that takedown. Now taking the back, he's almost got that body triangle set up. Deandre Anderson may be in trouble here. And Sewell's got lots of time. He's got over 4 minutes.
I mean, yeah, this is perfect for Sewell. Sewell, he's got him here early in the round. I mean, if they roll and stuff, or he gets on top, I mean, he's going to wear, Anderson out and do what Anderson was doing to him in the first round. And I mean, and in the stand-up when they started swinging, Sewell had the shots and they were connected. So I don't know if Anderson just didn't want to stand and bang, just wants to do more of a grappling or dirty boxing type fight. But I mean, Sewell's doing what he's got to do right here.
Sewell showing off his ground game skill as well, keeping that body triangle tight, keeping up the pressure on Anderson right here. Anderson's going to have to twist and break out of this. Sewell doing a good job throwing some strikes, and now Anderson turning around.
I'm wondering about Anderson because right now, I mean, Sewell's got his arms, Anderson's arms, so he can't punch, can't do nothing. You know, he's tying him up good. And when they were, you know, in the opposite positions, Sewell was throwing punches, doing everything, you know, being active. And I mean, right now, Anderson's just trying to get control, trying to get a position, and Sewell ain't making it easy for him at all.
Oh, and now pumping that guillotine. Now, and Anderson being the shorter fighter, definitely having an advantage with this guillotine here. Throwing some knees, weakening him. And a nice explosive strike here. Deandre Anderson conserving that strength. You know, they've got to have a lot of energy still left out. They haven't done much, but now Anderson takes a groin shot, it looks like. He's going to get a moment to recover here. Sewell too now, you know, taking a little bit of advantage from this, getting that time to recover as well, because he was starting to get shook up a little bit there for a second.
He was. I mean, the shot when I see it, I mean, it wasn't purpose. I mean, he was just kicking, you know.
Definitely, no.
But it just happened, you know, to land there.
And now both fighters will resume momentarily. As a reminder, a fighter gets up to 5 minutes to rest. But Deandre Anderson's looks like he's going to get started right off the bat. Sewell looking to throw.
I think that this is where he wants to be right here. You know, this is not. He don't want to be tied up. He don't want to be, you know, against the cage. He don't want to be on the ground.
Ew, and Sewell tries to throw him down, but pays for it. And now Anderson switching things up, sticking to the stand-up. Sewell taking things down to the ground for himself.
I don't get it why Anderson, I mean, I understood him getting up to, you know, keep it on his feet, but he turned his back to Sewell, and that's where, you know, this is what happened when you turn your back. I mean, I just thought, I don't understand that part, and it confused me, and I'm like, man, you just gave your opponent an opportunity to take the round. And I mean, if he does damage like he, you know, the beginning of the round where, you know, he gets in position, he starts swinging and banging, like that, you know, he's dropping elbows. I mean, man, he can cut you open and
could be detrimental to your performance. And Anderson trying to control that arm, trying not to take any damage. They're all tied up here. They got just under 50 seconds left. Anderson having a hard time trying to get out of this here. Sewell keeping all that weight up on top. Anderson throwing a couple of elbows there. And Sewell, you know, could definitely be throwing some more strikes, especially from that side mount position.
Yeah, but I mean, the way Anderson's moving, I mean, Sewell's he's trying to keep him here. That's I mean, good part by Anderson is he's moving enough to throw Sewell off, so he can't just get those clean shots.
And that's a signal. 10 seconds left, and they're in this north-south position here. It looks like Anderson possibly has his head locked up between the legs. And that's it for the round. Oh, but it looks like, yeah, that's a knockdown. That's it. That's submission. He is unconscious.
He was. I didn't even see it. You know, from my angle, I can see that. You know, yeah, I thought they were just, like you said, north-south.
Right. It didn't look like there was anything really going on. I wasn't even sure he was going for a hold, but I mean, he was choked up in there. Had him in some kind of triangle from the reverse position, and yeah, was able to capitalize. I mean, hey, if it gets you the win, it gets you the win.
Yeah.
And literally right down to the last second of the bell. I'm not sure if that's a technical submission, I think, but yeah.
I think the bells would save Saul right there. Yeah. I mean, I think he went unconscious and the bell just, hey, break up, and then the ref realized, hey, wait a minute.
Right. Yeah, both fighters doing a fantastic job this round. I mean, like we said, we had another bit of a stalemate here, but definitely some more damage getting dished back and forth. But who would have thought that's how it would have ended up getting finished there? Sometimes it just catches you off guard. It didn't look like he was particularly going for anything, but, you know, he happened to have his neck up tight. And if it worked, all he had to do was squeeze with those legs.
He got it right there. Yeah, I see where he got it, you know.
On second glance, right?
Yeah, he put it in, and, I mean, he was fighting it all the time. And
that's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time comes at the very end of round number 2. The is a technical submission win by triangle choke for Deandre Anderson.
So what I know about my opponent Robert is, you know, he's a tough guy, well-rounded, but he's not really what matters. It's all about me and how I focus, and as long as I'm focused and doing my thing, we're coming out with a win. I prepared a lot. I do a lot of travel training, but this one was mostly at my home gym, ATT Valdosta. A lot of my hometown boys helped me get ready for this one, and you know, a little travel training, lots of good dieting, lots of good sponsorships to help make the supplements and the food happen, and I've been training for a decade, man. Pro fighter for over a decade. I was a pro at 19 years old, fighting on King of the Cage at 20 against Junior Sunsao. So it's kind of full circle for me, man. I'm ready to go in here and launch my career right off of this dude's corpse. I pray just to finish it. I don't want to leave it in the judge's hands. However it needs to finish, whether it's a neck or an arm or a shoulder, or I drop him on his feet and then rip his neck off, or if I just drop him on his feet and let him fall like a tree. I don't want it to go to the judges.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Jenkins Arena, Augusta, Georgia, King of the Cage and General Tire present our featured bouts of the evening. Section 5, the Georgia Athletic and Entertainment Commission. Executive Director, Matt Woodruff. Chairman, Seth Middleton. Commissioners, Jerry Orleans, Vic Reynolds, Rick Thompson, and Dr. Jeff Shaw. It's in conjunction with King of the Cage Incorporated, President and Founder, Terry Fidelbach Jr., Matchmaker Andy Wayne, Promoters Robbie Bell, and Jeff Mahalik. The three judges scoring this bout will be Jimmy Neely, Nate Mann, and Brett McKeon. After the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Blake Grice. And now, for the thousands in attendance and the millions joining us around the world, Augusta, let's hear it. This is our main event of the evening. 3 rounds of the game. Introducing first, fighting out of our Lucas Oil blue corner, standing 5 feet 5 inches tall, official weight 156.6 pounds. This American top team MMA fighter has a professional record of 10 victories with 8 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, from Valdosta, Georgia, presenting Kamrin Naville. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of our General Tire red corner, stands at 5 feet 11 inches tall. Official weight 157.4 pounds. This X3 sports fighter has a professional record of 7 victories with 4 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, from Columbus, Georgia, presenting Robert Blue King Hale. Once again, Blake Grice is your official for our main event. Now by instructions, 3 rounds, lightweights.
Gentlemen, the rules of respect for clean fight. I'll take my commands, protect yourself at all times. If you want to touch the gloves, do it now. Good luck.
Here we are. This is our main event of the evening. Kamrin Naville versus Robert Hale. This bout is set in the 155-pound division. 3 rounds, 5 minutes apiece, and they're off. Kamrin Naville having a long history with King of the Cage. He's been fighting with us for quite some time. Robert Hale coming in as a little bit of a newcomer here. Now Kamrin Naville definitely suffering from the height disadvantage and reach disadvantage. But he's an experienced enough fighter to know he's got to close that distance and get out quick.
Yeah, he's doing a good job of that. I mean, he comes in, shoots, gets right back out. And he doesn't stay in the pocket at all, you know, because he doesn't want to get hit.
He's got to be careful of that, of Hale's hooks and jabs, though, because he does definitely have some knockout power behind that. Hale starting to learn the moves a little bit now.
I mean, that's a good head movement by Naville.
Yeah, Naville staying just out of harm's reach.
I mean, if he didn't have the head movement, he probably would have got knocked out already. I mean, I'm liking it. Using everything he's got right there.
Robert Hale just taking his time, watching the movements of Naville, trying to analyze that pattern of him tipping in and out. Because if he can catch him on that, if he can start predicting when he's going to pop in, he could definitely counter-strike.
Oh,
Robert
yeah.
Hale's got a lot of striking speed as well. Naville trying to change things up here for a second, backs out. And the good thing about Kamrin Naville, he doesn't overcommit to anything. He knows when to get in and when to get out. Oh, and avoiding a lot of damage there with that head movement.
Yeah, I mean, he better be careful, bending over like that. I mean, I'm glad he's moving, because if not, a kick right there would end it really bad and quick.
That's true. Three minutes left in this round now. Naville looking to pick up some more damage. Robert Hale starting to pick it up a little bit more now, throwing some strikes.
I was just going to say, I see ones and twos going, but not numbers. And right now, Hale just, open up with a few numbers, and, that's the thing. You throw more numbers, they land. Because you can dodge so many, but eventually, a couple are going to get in.
Yeah, exactly. And Hale, starting to realize he can dictate the pace of this stand-up too. If Naville doesn't want to come to him, he could just get to Naville. Naville now rethinking his strategy a little bit, taking his time. Both fighters being cautious. They know neither of them want to get caught up with those fists.
Yeah, well, I see they're trying to throw feints and stuff, so I mean, to see how the opponent reacts, and that's what you want to do. Hey, if I do this, what's he going to do? So now, hey, I'll feint this and I'll toss this.
Hale with some nice head movement as well. See, both fighters, they get up close and they get into right within striking range of each other, but both of them are just managing to avoid the majority of the damage.
I think they got to add more kicks and definitely knees. They throw those knees with the way they're moving, either one. And they're going to land and do some damage.
It definitely could change the whole pace of the fight. Hale moving in. Both fighters exchanging some nice strikes back and forth. Some nice kicks from Naville.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all set up. I mean, he threw like a jump kick to a leg kick. I mean, and he got him because it's unexpected. You got to mix stuff up so they don't see what's coming. It's easy to block something you see coming.
And for Naville, definitely could definitely be using that kickboxing to his advantage to enhance that range. At the disadvantage that he's at against Hale, he doesn't have to be as close if he can land those head kicks. Hale moving in.
Hale looks like
again.
Every time Hale throws, I mean, it looks like he's trying to knock Naville out. They're just flying through. And look at these guys just going back and forth. I mean, that's awesome.
Naville swinging with some heavy power too, walking in with some confidence. And now going low. 10 seconds left in the round. I don't think he has enough time to capitalize on this.
Maybe he's just trying, secure the round right here with this.
And doesn't quite get that result that he's looking for. Almost. Very close. Trying to get some, impress the judges at the last minute there. But Naville definitely holding down his ground this fight. Robert Hale doing a good job as well, countering, getting some damage in there as much as he could. Both fighters seem pretty evenly matched, but I think that was just a nice testing round. They're both kind of analyzing each other's movements. And round two, I think, will be a little more fruitful.
Yeah, I mean, they were both throwing. It was great. Movement, everything. No damage done because they're good movement on both parts. So it's like, you know, they test each other's out. They saw what they got. Now this next round, hey, let's see what we can connect.
And we're just going to have to see how it develops in round number 2. We're going to get things started between Kamrin Naville and Robert Hale once again. They just came off of a pretty even first round. Both fighters looking like they got a little bit more energy in their step now.
Yeah, well, I mean, the first round, I mean, they threw everything. They saw everything. So it's like, let's see what works now. They're nice and warm for sure.
Robert Hale putting on some more. Ooh, lands a couple of nice strikes on Naville there. Naville tries to return, but eats a couple more. There we go, Naville trying to mix things up, getting some body kicks in.
I mean, I like how Hale came out. He threw combos, mixed it up between his feet and his hands. And then right from there, you know, Naville explodes right at him, you know, launches his whole body to throw punches and, you know, a capoeira kick right there.
Right. Mixing up the styles a little bit here, trying to do whatever he can to change things up. You know, and their speed is about the same. Robert Hale's a pretty quick fighter, you know, very agile. He's able to close that distance and get right out of Naville's hitting range, you know, really quickly.
Yeah, I mean, that's where you guys, you know, haven't been taking that much damage because, I mean, they're throwing, they're landing, but, I mean, a lot of them are blocked or they just move out of the way.
Right, they're reducing that damage. Robert Hale just testing that distance there, keeping him just where he wants him. Naville having a hard time closing that distance and getting within striking range.
Yeah, I think Hale has to do what he just did a second ago, where he just comes all out and throws all these punches and kicks and lands and step out of the way.
Right, rush,
reset,
back off.
Reset and do it again.
He's got a nice three-piece combo there.
Naville, same thing. You know, he just got to throw some combos, you know, because he just throws that hook and the straight cross, and then that's it. Or the jab and the cross, and, you know, it stops there. He's got to add at least 4 shots, you know.
Naville looking for that entryway in to deal some damage, but Hale is keeping his eyes wide open. He's waiting for every little opportunity for Naville to slip up. And now backing Naville towards the cage, not giving him much space to run.
I mean, Naville's slowed down, so I don't know if that's Hale's, you know, accuracy with his punching, his kicks, or, you know, you got Naville thinking, man, I can't come in as easy as I was before. Because, I mean, I know Naville's not tired, but, you know, I think he's thinking more of like, okay, how can I get around Hale's punching and kicking?
Right, he's thinking. He's, you know, contemplating, trying to figure out, you know, how is he going to get around this.
Stop. Corner interference is a foul. Stop. You're interfering with the fight. Let's go. Fight.
And look, the referee has just about had it with the corner, and looks like the corner has been yelling a lot of more taunts than I'd say coaching.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, everybody gets excited when it comes to their fight and whatnot, but when it becomes excessive and that's the only thing you're hearing, it does become an interference.
Well, but you got to realize, you know, when you're the coach or in the corner, you got to act a certain way.
Right.
You know, you're not a fan. The fan can say whatever he wants because he paid to be there. You know, he's there. He can voice his opinion. But a corner or someone in your corner cannot say certain things because, hey, it's not professional. It's not sportsmanlike.
You're there for a reason. You're there for your fighter. You're there to coach. Now clinching up against the cage. Naville closing the distance here. Now if he can throw some strikes, some knees, some elbows, he can catch up on some damage. Just under 45 seconds left in this round. Naville being very cautious. Ooh, and takes a big kick from Hale, blocks it.
Well, Naville, I think he was showing that kick, and Hale just said, you know what, I'll beat you to it right now, and I'll show you the kick.
Right. Naville trying to get that distance connected with that kick, that long kick. He's not quite getting as close though as I think he wants to be,
or needs to be.
Exactly.
You know.
And that's it for round number 2, and it looks like we will see a third round. Both fighters still look very fresh with lots of energy left in them. It's just Naville looks like he's just a little lost. He's trying to find the right way to get, how is he going to be able to damage Robert Hale? How is he going to be able to damage him enough to get him knocked down or taken down or whatever he needs to do?
Yeah, that's trying. Hale, he's coming in. I mean, a lot of shots are blocked or dodged, but he's connected more in the sense of he's hitting them,
right,
whether they're blocked or not. And that's where Naville's like trying to figure out, okay, how can I get close enough to even hit him so he blocks or whatever, but to just make contact with them.
Welcome back from the break. We're back to our main event, Kamrin Naville versus Robert Hale, third round. This is it. A winner will walk away from this. Kamrin Naville showing that sportsmanship. He's having a good time.
Oh, both guys having a good time here, It's a good fight.
Hale throwing some nice punches, and that reach advantage really coming in handy.
But Naville doing a good job right there. Hale throwing the punches and Naville taking advantage of that front leg kick.
Naville getting in a little closer this round, dishing out a little bit more damage here. But Hale's ready for it. Hale just clipping Naville every way he can. Seeing Naville is just, he's getting in there, but it's not quite close enough for all of that power of the punch to get transferred.
Yeah, no, because Naville's coming in with a little more power, so he's just a hair slower than Hale is, and Hale's got that speed where he just, and then it throws Naville off.
Right, it's like he makes contact, but he's still fast enough to react and pull away just in time to, reduce all that impact. And it looks like they're going to call a timeout here really quick, picking up the mouthpiece.
That's the one thing you got to, as a fighter, always have. You got to have that mouthpiece that don't fall off. Just ain't one of those just put it in, you pull out whenever you want. Put it in, it's fixed in there. To get it off, it's going to be a fight.
And especially with the hits that he's taken from Robert Hale, he would be. I would assume he'd be wanting to keep that in his mouth for his own protection. Naville closing in, but Hale just, he's just a tad bit quicker. He's able to beat him, to the punch.
Well, I mean, Hale, he figured out Naville in the sense of where when Naville comes in, he comes in with his whole body. He jumps in for, leads in for it. So Naville just watches when his body's coming and just tries to counter that.
Ooh. That could have been disastrous. I think he just like unavoided the majority of that damage from that kick. Takes another big one. Luckily, his guard is quick. He's able to suck up that damage.
I'm surprised because, it just, on both kicks, it was right there when it needed to be.
Naville just barely missing, those crucial shots that he's really looking for, that he really needs, honestly, at this point in the fight. If this ends up going to decision, Robert Hale has been doing a pretty fantastic job, and I think he has taken the last couple of rounds just barely.
Yeah. Because he's connected a few more times. A lot, and throwing a lot more in the sense of landing on even block shots.
Right.
I'm surprised I see no blood because these guys have been throwing. And but their defense is right on point.
Yeah, you make a good point with that. You're not really, you don't see the damage really being very apparent at all. No cuts, no blood, no bruising, barely any redness. And it's all in that head movement. Both these guys have fantastic head movement. They're really, negating that damage a lot. Especially with how heavy, both these guys are throwing really hard knockout-worthy punches. If they take any of these dead on, that's definitely going to rock somebody. As we can see right there, those punches just barely missing.
Oh,
ooh, takes a big knee, it looked like.
Yeah, it sounded like it. I don't know if it was a kick to the chest area, but it's still, oh man.
Naville not backing off. Yeah. Naville, very tough fighter. You know, the guy can take, you know, one hell of a hit. Kamrin Naville keeping this pressure up against the cage. Just under 20 seconds left in this round. He's really got to capitalize here, push forward, try to deal some damage, or try to finish something.
Dirty boxing, anything right there at this point.
Yeah. You know, no holds barred, 10 seconds left. You might as well just go for it. You know, at this point, they're both pretty fresh. They both know they can take a couple of shots. They might as well just start slugging it out. And it looks like they just might. Naville moving in, but not quite getting, you know, as close as he needs to be. And that's it. It looks like we're going to toss it to the judges for a final decision. But first of all, let's take a look at the replay. Both of these fighters, as we were saying before, you know, pretty evenly matched at skill level. But however, Robert Hale, I think, just really taking advantage of his speed advantage, that reach advantage, and that height advantage. It's just really coming in handy for him.
And I mean, like I said, they were both swinging. They were both defending good. But I think Hale just got a little bit of advantage because a few of his connected more because he threw a little bit more numbers, you know, in his combos, opposed to the 1-2s that Naville was throwing.
Right. No, definitely. Naville, you know, he did really everything he could do. You know, was moving in, trying to make those advances. He was getting in close enough to strike, but Robert Hale was just one step ahead of him, was able to just get out of harm's way enough, you know, for it to not work out.
Scores this bout 30-27, while judges Jimmy Neely and Nate Mann have us 29-28. All three in favor of your